Hi, I'm Faraz Khan from MyTrack Recruitment, and welcome to Season 3 of the Low Code podcast. Low code is the future of software development, but what is low code without its developers? So this season, I will be speaking to all levels of developers across the globe who have taken the career choice of working with low code platforms. With this podcast, our aim is to help grow the low code developer community by inspiring others to follow the same path as our guests. There is a severe shortage of resources in this area, and we are looking to help bridge that gap by raising interest and awareness amongst developers to look at this exciting technology. So let's get started. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Code podcast. Today my guest is Sofia Ikbal from Portugal. Hi Sofia, how are you?
Hi Faraz, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you. Can't complain. You know, it's we've had some nice weather in Europe recently, so
Okay.
I'm sure you have had some nice weather as well.
Too much actually.
Yeah, too much.
Yeah. 40 degrees most of the days.
Yeah, I think we had a couple of 40-degree days, but probably Portugal's a lot hotter than here.
In the UK, the houses are warmer, so it gets like a sauna in there.
Yeah, and there's no beach close by as well, so it's
I live near the beach.
Oh, so see, now you're just making me jealous. Lucky you. Yeah, lucky you. I'm looking out at trees and other houses, so nowhere near the beach. Nowhere near the beach. So thanks for agreeing to be part of the podcast. And obviously it's something you're not usually doing. So you're an OutSystems developer working at Indigo. Do you want to start by just giving us a bit of a background about yourself?
Yes, so my background is completely different. It's not from IT.
Yep.
So even though I'm a biomedical engineer, my last years, like my 10 years of career was in medical physics. So I was working as a medical physicist at a hospital in radiotherapy. I've also worked in the UK before.
Yes.
Which is amazing. Obviously adored what I was doing. But I always have a little crush into coding since my uni times. So there was always like, this little bug in me. But, life was changing and start working and you have a family and then you don't think a lot about changing.
Sure.
Yes.
And so obviously you had the medical background. Just going back, you said obviously you were doing that for a while. I'm assuming that was something from a young age you thought, okay, that's what I'm going to do.
No, actually no. I always wanted to do engineering. My brother is a computer developer.
Okay, yeah.
So I knew I wanted engineering, and I always had to think of healthcare. So biomedical engineering combined the two worlds.
Yeah.
So engineering, a lot of maths and physics, which I absolutely adored.
Yeah.
And also the healthcare part. And oncology is like world is amazing.
Yeah.
So biomedical engineer also had a bachelor degree in physics, but working in medical physics, it's like was everything I wanted, but I only knew that when I was in uni.
And in regards to obviously you worked in the hospital, and then you in the UK you went back to Portugal to continue that career, right? Yeah. And then what kind? You said coding, and OutSystems is not much coding. So how did you come across OutSystems? And
it's a funny story. I remember the first time I heard about OutSystems. I was in the baby shower.
Oh, really? Your baby shower or someone else's?
No, my friend.
Okay, cool.
So I remember being there, and there was a girl. I don't remember her name. I don't remember her face. Nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
I remember she was talking about OutSystems.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think it was 2016. Yeah. And I think she was from HR of a company, and she was talking about the salaries of the OutSystems developers.
Very interesting topic for a baby shower.
Yeah, and I was like, what she's talking about?
Yeah. I need to be in that conversation.
Yes. Yeah. I was like, I couldn't hear everything, right? She was next to me, actually, like literally next to me, talking with her friends about that. She was tweaking people, and I was like, should I ask her? Like,
yeah.
Would be rude of me? I was like, no.
Yeah.
And I didn't, but I was curious about it because the way she was talking, she was really not just a salary. She was really excited about everything.
Yeah.
About the platform and everything. She was talking with passion about it.
Yeah.
I was curious, and that was like 6 years ago. But then, I left. Life carry on.
Yeah.
And then again, 2018, I saw people putting like in their LinkedIn profiles, "Oh, I'm OutSystems developer."
Yeah.
okay, what's this again?
Yeah, yeah,
A uni colleague, she was working as a developer, and she was talking to me, and she was really happy with her job.
yeah.
And I was trying to understand what it was, because it's not like Java and C.
Yeah,
We have those things in university. We didn't have at the time local.
yeah,
And then she said, I was getting really interested in that. And then she said our company was having an academy, and they were
mm,
hiring people. But at the time, I had a small baby.
yeah,
Then I became a mom.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And she's like, for me to do that, I had to quit my job.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I couldn't do it. But I was getting like more and more listening, hearing about OutSystems, and I was
yeah,
getting more curious about it.
yeah,
But then I couldn't at the time
yeah.
go into OutSystems. But then 2020 happened.
Mm-hmm.
So
Pandemic.
pandemic.
Yeah.
So everything we know and took for granted completely changed. So
Yeah.
I think that was the year a lot of people had to change their lives.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and then at that time, it was like I had 10 years of experience in my career. I was getting a bit exhausted
Mhm. Mm.
because I don't know if most people know, because in the public sector and especially in healthcare,
Yeah,
there's not a
yeah.
lot of career
Draining. Yeah,
progression. And you get
yeah,
trained, but there's not a lot of career progression. You get
yeah,
to a certain point in your career and you get
yeah,
stuck.
yeah, yeah.
And it's really demanding. So pandemic hit, baby at home, key workers had to go to the hospitals to
So
work.
were you working at that time, or were you at home with the
Yes,
baby?
yes,
So
yes,
you were a key worker then?
yeah,
Oh
exactly.
wow. Okay. Wow.
So that was demanding. It was really
Yeah.
complicated. And then again, I started hearing about OutSystems.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then at the time, I had a high school friend that she was working at
Oh
OutSystems
wow. Okay. Yeah.
as a developer, but there.
Yeah.
So I was like, everything was like going to like coming to me about OutSystems. So a
Yeah. It
lot of
just kept
people know about
popping up. Yeah. Yeah.
that. And she was also really passionate about it. She was always
Yeah.
talking about how much she enjoyed OutSystems.
Yeah.
And then she told me about the OutSystems Developer School
Yeah.
that we did at the time.
Yeah.
It was like a um,
The
weeks course.
2 week course. Yeah. 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 With
Yes,
the
and
free
that was
certification.
free and remote.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was perfect for me because
Yeah.
I could do it at home. I didn't have to
Yeah.
go somewhere,
Yeah.
after work and going
Yeah.
somewhere. And I could afford it because it was free, because most of the boot
Yeah.
camps are really expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I wanted to reskill, but I didn't want to just quit my job and go to something like an adventure and
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah.
being good at it, or I didn't even enjoy it, because I was really passionate about my job.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
But I was worried that I wouldn't, if I wasn't a good developer as I was
Yeah.
thinking I
Yeah.
could.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, you have a baby at home as well. So yeah.
So there's a lot of things
Yeah.
mixing,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So I applied for the course.
Yeah.
I didn't stay for the first one.
How did you know?
No, no. But I kept nagging them.
Yeah.
I really nagged them a lot.
Yeah.
And then, like, I think the second one I
Yeah.
tried, then they chose me.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I really need
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
By the time schools were open and everything,
Yeah.
it was getting sort of normal.
Yeah.
And then I did the course and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did the course. I was like, this is really nice. This is
Mm.
interesting.
Yeah.
The platform is amazing. And
Yeah.
I think I started having like a huge crush on OutSystems.
Yeah. 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 Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And then I did the first certification, and I kept on studying and studying. And I said, okay, I like this.
Mm.
I can do this. I can see me doing this for my life.
Mm. Yeah.
That's when I decided this is what I want to do. Okay,
Yeah.
I want to change now.
Yeah. And how was your, when you kind of resigned from a whole, not, I don't want to say a job, because you left behind a career of 10 years.
Yeah.
What kind of feeling went through you that you were kind of leaving 10 years or something and joining something as a junior?
It's scary. Okay, it is scary.
Yeah.
Because and you have the imposter syndrome kicking in like
Yeah.
every single night. But I had before as well.
Yeah. Okay.
I know, like 10 years of experience in healthcare, and I've learned so much, and I've done so much, put so much effort in my life,
Yeah.
so many
Yeah.
hours even studying, and it's a lot. But I have the knowledge is in me. I haven't
Yeah.
still
yeah,
indeed.
yeah,
And maybe who I am today, maybe the way
yeah,
I work and my relationships has to do a lot with working in healthcare,
yeah, yeah.
in a hospital environment. It kind of makes you
Transferable skills. Yeah, yeah,
makes you a different person, the way you see
yeah,
life and everything.
yeah, yeah.
We deal a lot of death, so
Yeah, yeah, I could imagine. Yeah,
yes,
you've seen a lot. You've seen a lot.
yes.
Wow. So,
So
okay, and then one thing that we come across a lot is, people like in your situation who do career changes or, don't have any background as a developer coming to our systems, usually getting that first job is quite challenging. Someone willing to employ you. So how was that? Talk me through that process for you. Like when did you kind of decide, okay, this is what I'm going to do? And then how long did it take to kind of get that first job?
it took me a few months
Yeah,
because I was still working and I was
yeah,
still thinking, I wanted to study more. So
yeah,
I was trying to have that compromise between starting the first job
mm,
and not going completely blank. I wanted to
yeah,
have a bit, just,
yeah, yeah,
see if I know what I'm doing. So I studied a bit and I did some certifications. I did my first ones before I started working,
yeah,
and I was just working, studying, and then I started the round of interviews.
yeah,
That was awful.
yeah,
It was completely awful,
yeah,
really hard
yeah,
because I wasn't in the market for like 10 years.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then,
of course, yeah,
and then trying to explain what you did that has nothing to do with IT, right?
yeah, 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 yeah,
But gives you soft skills, gives you
yeah,
different type
yeah,
of skills.
yeah,
Even like the way you deal with the work is going to be different.
yeah,
You used to a lot of pressure and a lot of
yeah. You've been
managing.
in very high pressure situations, yeah.
Yeah. So IT is also has a lot of pressure, but it's nothing
Yeah.
compared to killing someone.
Someone's life, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's a walk in the park for you then.
And trying to explain all of that, giving
Mm,
like the feedback and explaining why I wanted to, wasn't easy. But I
yeah,
was really lucky to cross paths with Indigo. I was
yeah,
really, really lucky. It was like a blessing in my life.
yeah,
They gave me an opportunity, which I'm be forever grateful to
yeah,
them
yeah,
because they saw in me potential, and
yeah,
they are and they still are amazing with me. Like all the
yeah,
support they've been giving me every day, but the rest of the companies, it was really hard.
yeah. We come that across that a lot, which is why I asked the question, because we get a lot of people who have the same kind of passion as you and they think, okay, I'll start with the certification.
Yes.
Um, and then I'll do some. I don't want to leave my job until I know I've got something else lined up, but then that process can sometimes take very long, and they can be disheartened by doing the interviews, kind of you know their old skills being used against them in a kind of way where it ends up being a lot of people who continue their current career, but they've just got a certification and they never went anywhere because no one was willing to give them a chance and let them prove themselves. So it's good that you found someone that was willing to give you that shot.
And I think we should give because like if you see someone that's willing to change their careers
Yeah,
and have a family and is
yeah, yeah,
studying
yeah,
so much, I think it's like the first thing to show you that they're going to do a lot of good. They're going to try to have to
yeah,
work
yeah,
hard.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
struggling and they want to impress you, and I think that's a lot. Uh,
yeah. Yeah, I think from an employer's perspective, you'd think, okay, this person has a young baby as well. She's obviously not here to mess around. She's gonna
exactly.
she's gonna work hard. She's got a family to support. Like I started iTrack 1 month after my first baby was born.
Okay.
So it's a big risk, but you work hard, because you got a family to feed. So it's
It wasn't like a first job, it
yeah,
was
yeah,
something
yeah,
you really needed to hold on
yeah,
to it.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, you've been at Indigo for nearly a year and a half now. It's strange because obviously we've been connected on LinkedIn for a while,
Yeah,
and it feels like you've been doing OutSystems for longer for some reason, but you haven't.
I feel the same.
Yeah. It's like you've been around a lot longer than what you have been. So you've been there for a year and a half. How's kind of how was kind of you started obviously a new job now, and how was that kind of? Talk to me about kind of the first 3 to 6 months of your
Uh,
new career.
uh, a lot of hours, trying to
Yeah,
catch up on everything. but I've always had this feeling that I was always growing every day.
Yeah.
So I think I was a bit lucky to have really good colleagues as well,
Yeah.
really interesting projects as well.
Mm.
So I was always, and the good thing about OutSystems and IT is like you change roles and you change projects, and
Yeah.
it doesn't have a routine. You don't get
Yeah.
tired of anything. You're
Yeah.
always motivated. There's always things to learn, things to do,
Yeah.
and it's nice to start seeing building something from scratch, and then, for
Yeah.
example, having applications in production, work
Yeah.
you've done in
Yeah.
production, like people using it. It's
Yeah.
quite interesting. It's different from
Yeah.
what I was completely to what I was doing.
Yeah.
But still, it's amazing and gives me a lot of uh,
Fulfilling.
exactly.
Yeah. I could imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how long was it till they kind of put you onto a project?
Oh, I did two POC. How do I say?
PSCs.
Yeah, exactly. I did
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
at the beginning,
Yeah.
just the first month, and then
Yeah.
started April. I did two, and then May I went to a project.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah,
quick.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you're thrown in the deep end really fast.
No, it was okay.
You were ready. You were ready.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
fine. Yes.
Yeah. That's good. And you obviously last year you spoke at OSDC, wasn't it?
Yes, I did.
So how was that? Obviously, what's that? Sorry.
You've seen me there.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Of course. Yes. So for someone so junior to kind of be speaking, how was that kind of? How did that even come around? Because usually they're talking to MVPs and champions,
I was with Remco at the keynote.
And how was that
Portugal.
kind of experience?
It was really nice. I was
Yeah.
invited
Yeah.
to speak about my junior experience
Yeah.
comparing to a head of developing. It's Remco. He's like the top.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
It was that's the best thing about systems. Like you have the sense of belonging. You have
Yeah.
the community to support you, and if you want to progress in your career, you have the support of everyone, and you feel like you want to do more, and you want to learn, because it's so also everything is so exciting.
Yeah. And you mentioned the community. How has kind of the community been in your kind of process, or your year and a half of what role have they played for you?
Sometimes I talk a lot with Anna Lopes, and I think she always helped me do my way. All these things, the OSDC, they invited me to be part of it. They explain me all the information about the website, what they do, courses, training. They always keep on track of how we are. If you are okay with it, if you're happy with it, so you don't get that we're not just like thrown and left alone.
Yeah.
They are very supportive,
Yeah, we get that from everyone.
Yes, because they want people to learn more, do more, and you'll be happy with it. It's just not like just okay, so you're OutSystems developer and that's it. So
yeah.
I want these people to be happy and be close, and I have a lot of friends in other companies as well. Thanks to the community, thanks to the
that's good. Yeah.
So I did it with Ana Diaz from the Dev team, and we're really close now. We talk a lot, like almost every day.
Yeah, wow.
Yes.
It's good that they've kind of created that kind of family environment where everyone, even you may have not met them like face to face, but there's still that kind of
I was with her.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. So and in the time you've been kind of working with OutSystems, have you come across kind of any challenges in your career so far, where you've kind of thought, or what I mean is, like, where you've been able to refer back to the community and get help?
Oh, the forums and everything.
Yeah.
There's a lot of help. I think we need to work more on that. I never wrote anything, but I can find a lot of things and a lot of
there.
So that's one of the good things that we have in there. A
Mm.
lot of support and everything.
Yeah. And in regards to the kind of projects you're working on, have you been exposed to kind of a range of projects? You said obviously you have, the great thing is you can work on different client projects. Have you kind of worked on web and mobile, or you focus more on the website?
Oh yes. The last one I did was mobile and a portal. interactive, and the previous one was traditional. So I've been
Oh wow! So you've done everything, yeah. Okay, great. And usually I ask this to more kind of experienced people, but it's good to know from your point of view as well. Usually we'll ask someone who's been working with it for a long time, over the years, what's some of the key features you think OutSystems have released. For you, someone with a year and a half experience, what do you think are some of the things OutSystems kind of offer that make them kind of, one of the leaders?
It's the way they develop the applications. It's not only like the platform, the way they've done it. I don't know other low code sources, but this one, it's not just developing. Like, if, for example, if you go to a project and there's an application already made, it's easier. Forget not thinking about the business part, but it's only the coding part. It's easier for someone who goes and starts working to understand the code.
Yeah.
Lines of code. You can easily go dig deep into the application. And also the way it was developed, for example, the time to market you can have without systems.
Yeah, a lot quicker.
It's a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Like, for example, you have a customer who wants to have something in production in a month, and we can do it, and we can do it in a way that can escalate.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of things, not just the way the platform. They think about technical depth as well. They think about scalability. They think about performance. You can monitor the application. So they have a lot of key factors and a lot of things that makes this really easy for us to develop and easy for us to like what we're doing and really enjoying what we're doing and want to do better and more. And this is really good for the customers because people don't have a lot of time. They want everything for yesterday. Really well made. So when we think about OutSystems and we think that we're building this for the future, it's because we can escalate it quite easily and fast. And I think that's like the most important thing in working with this technology.
And I think that's why it's gained a lot of momentum in the market, and obviously being Portuguese, that's why the market is so big in Portugal. And another thing, that's what I was going to ask you. You mentioned that briefly, so I'm guessing you've never looked into any other kind of low code platform.
No, because OutSystems came to my life suddenly.
Of course.
And it's Portuguese, it's a unicorn, and it's like it's a really pretty platform.
Yeah.
Like, they are really brilliant developing that.
Yeah.
I'm curious about the other ones. I wanted to see the differences. I didn't have like the opportunity to see.
Yeah.
But low code, not just OutSystems. I think
it's
a feature.
Yeah.
Because the way it's developed, and even for people that different backgrounds or different languages, like for example, my brother, he's a Java developer. I think everyone can go into OutSystems quite fast.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Like, you can really enjoy your work, and it's not just nice to have like a good career and a progression, but also enjoying what you're doing every day.
Yeah. And I think I said this to someone else that I spoke to. I find whenever I'm talking to an OutSystems developer about new opportunities versus other kind of traditional people, they're all genuinely excited. They're always happy. Like, I don't get someone saying, I hate my job. It's more they're looking for a new challenge. Where sometimes when I speak to other kind of developers, it's not the same excitement, and I think that's something really good about the OutSystems and obviously the community as well and all the events that they do. And you mentioned your brother being into Java. Have you ever had that conversation about low code, join low code?
I remember when I told him, like, oh, I finally got a job as a developer. And I was like, well, finally, because it's like a lot of time with your life. And I told him, do you know low code? And he was like, is that assembly?
What's low code?
No, it's not assembly. What you talking about? And okay, he doesn't live in Portugal. He lives in the UK. Still, he had no idea what OutSystems was or low code was.
Wow.
To explain him, and I think probably with the other languages, and I'm not sure. Maybe in the project for a long time, even years. And then people get tired and they want to change. And my brother, he's doing the same for a lot of years. But he's happy with it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
with OutSystems, you can change. You can finish like something in like 3, 4, 6 months, and then go to
Yeah.
a new project.
Yeah.
And then really finish something, and you really have something like built and done.
Something in front of you and completed. Yeah.
And that's the main difference. Like, that's why I think everyone gets so excited and happy to work as a developer here,
Yeah.
or even in other tracks.
Yeah.
That's why it gets really.
Yeah. And has he even played around with it or looked at it?
I'm not really sure.
Okay.
I'm not really sure. I'll try to show him a few things.
Yeah. Have you ever had any conversations with anyone else who kind of, who's kind of in traditional, and about OutSystems, and they've kind of pushed back?
Yeah, a lot of people say, "Oh, you just play with little circles." No,
Okay.
do not
Yeah.
play with circles. Oh, you
Yeah.
just do the boxes. Like, no, this is
Yeah.
more than that.
Yeah.
It's not easy to. We try to advocate and we try to take bring people to our community actually.
Yeah.
But still to struggle, I think.
Yeah. I think that we get that a lot, where there's a lot of people who just, that they, because obviously traditional's been around for so long, they assume that's the way to go, but they don't really look at the future, that it's coming, and it's coming fast, so
We also need them because the platform
of course,
needs to be developed by someone.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So
we still need that. And
yeah
there's a lot of things coming out. I think there's so many things coming out nowadays. So many, just about code, like reading about the other things that are coming. So many things that trying to be updated with everything is so hard. That's why we need to find something that we enjoy and then stick to it. Because if you try to understand everything that's happening, it's like impossible nowadays.
yeah
Happening. But I think there's market for a lot of things for developers.
There's jobs for everyone.
Yeah,
Jobs for
people
everyone.
want to be skilled and they're committed, because they have to be committed and they have to be committed. Otherwise it's going to be a mess. You need to have like, some type of to become a developer, you have to have certain skills as well. Even though if it's not like when you start from uni or when you're really young, even when it's like older time of your life, you have to have some certain skills to enjoy it and appreciate it. And otherwise, because it's not easy. It's really nice, but it's not easy.
And I think, like you said, obviously, even though your past 10 years was not in technology, those skills can be transferable into, with OutSystems, where maybe if you went to traditional, maybe not so much, as much as, within low code, where, the soft skills are very, very important. And like you said, the pressure side, for you, this must be nothing, compared to the pressure. It'd obviously be an easier pressure to deal with.
Yes, it is.
When you kind of were looking into OutSystems, did you reach out to any existing OutSystems developers to kind of ask any questions, any advice?
Yes, so that some of my uni colleagues were working as developers, and I asked them, like, I even asked one, I remember, can you show me a bit of the code? How do you do an algorithm there? And then he sent me some print. I was like, what is that? Like circles, and what is that? And then I start seeing, okay, that makes a lot of sense. It's like you have the ifs and everything is encapsulated, and it started making sense. And you start enjoying it and you start getting into it. But like, one thing I see in common to everyone, and everyone is really happy with their career. I never talk with anyone that they say we don't like it. I've seen people coming from SAP to OutSystems, some many colleagues as well, because they were really overwhelmed. And a lot of people from other careers as well, other just reskillers as well. Everyone is really happy with what they're doing. Sometimes they don't enjoy the project as much because of the business part, not just
sure.
Sometimes the business is not just as interesting as someone wants it to be honest. But they were happy with it.
I think even with us, it's very rare we speak to someone in OutSystems saying, okay, I want to leave OutSystems and do something else. It's more so it's someone, coming from somewhere else to consider OutSystems and see what the market's like and the reason why they're considering OutSystems. Because like you, it just kept popping up the word OutSystems, and they're thinking, okay, well, if a lot of people are talking about it, surely it's something to look into. And I think it helps that you can just download the platform, play around with it, and those boot camps obviously are quite helpful as well. That they're free, you get the free certification at the end of them, which gives you a bit of nothing to lose. You're not. There's no financial loss. You can just do it. If you like it, great. If you don't, it's something you learned. You tried it, it didn't work. So yeah, it's definitely I think, like you said, everyone's always happy and excited when talking about OutSystems. And just obviously you're still quite early into your OutSystems career. What's your kind of future aspirations, ahead, your kind of goal in the short to long term?
Well, in the short term, I still have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
Even though I have a few certifications, I'm happy to say I have 5. So I want to keep studying and learning more. And I want to be a really good professional. Like feel like I'm reliable, like I used to feel when I was in a career. So I still have a long path to go. Long journey. But probably in the midterm, I would like to go to something like a management position. Having a good solid technical background done, and then being part of like decision makings. So if you have an overall idea of what's happening in the IT part, you can be part of the management decisions. Better decisions. So I'm thinking about that in the future.
Good, that's good. I'm sure you'll get there. But yeah, that's kind of all my questions. Thanks for agreeing to speak to me. I know you're nervous, but you've done great. So I think it's really good. I think people appreciate the journey you've had, and I think it's the fact that only 2 years ago you were still working in the middle of the pandemic in the hospital to now being like an OutSystems person is crazy. So exactly. So it's even to get a junior person getting a remote job is also very unknown. Usually people want, if it's junior, come to the office, because we need to see that you're working. Even though we're not sitting next to you, we need to see you at the desk doing something. So thank you for coming on. I think it'd be good to catch up again in the future to see kind of where the next stage is and where you are.
Where I am.
Exactly. Where you are and kind of how you've grown, and we'll keep in touch anyway.
Okay, thank you, Fedor.
Thank you. Take care.
You too.
Thank you for listening to the latest episode of the Low Code Podcast, hosted by iTrack Recruitment, global leader in low code recruitment. Be sure to subscribe and see you next time.